Chikasha. Peace and love. So I was going over trying to find this clip I had. It was over the Moorish mission. So this will be in the playlist, I guess. King Edward VII as a Mason, while Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Masons of Great Britain. King Edward VII was one of the foremost figures in the great fraternity. Yeah, I'm doing I did 40 minutes on Instagram. I'm doing 20 minutes here, brother, so I could do my hour. One of the most figures in the great fraternity, which traces its origin back to the days of King Solomon. So I'm looking for a clip because it said that there was a ritual done going to St. John's Church and meeting with King Edward VII. And we did the demonstration with the Moorish mission of the head Moorish of the Moorish army going and meeting with King Edward VII, with the ambassador of the Moorish Sultan. And he's a European. But here's something I found, man, that was crazy. I tied the Scottish rite to the Moors with that because it said he was a Scottish chieftain, MacLean, right? Commander-in-chief of the Moorish army. And he draws 35,000 notes a year, which ain't no telling how much that was back then. But look, it says, is the only Christian who has openly crossed the Ghania Pass and visited the sacred tomb of Muley Ali Sharif. But he's the head of the Moorish army. And keep in mind, 1903, right after Albert Pike passed, he's the head of the Scottish chieftain. And he's meeting with King Edward VII right here. And it says he was Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Masons of Great Britain. So there was some kind of coup d'etat going after Albert Pike passed, because now this man, Aubrey Keod MacLean, was now the Scottish chieftain that was the chief of the Moorish army, bro. But it says right here he was a Christian. This is the first time I've seen a document of him being Christian, though. And when you look up Keod MacLean, he looked just like Albert Pike. And that's him right there with the ambassador and all that, with the legs crossed over. That's him right there. Right after Albert Pike passed, he was the Scottish chieftain, head of the Moorish army. And that was supposed to be the Moorish ambassador meeting with King Edward VII, which is a Masonic ritual in St. John's, is what the clip I'm trying to find. I'm just going to shut my mouth about that till I find it. I was trying to find it, but then I was going through King Edward right there. King Edward. Masonry and all that too. Nonetheless, how is a Christian going to be the head of the Moorish army unless it was being coup d'etat. But King Edward VII has something to do with it. The 33 degrees is the 33rd parallel in North America. Just like an equator line or whatever, the longitude line going down to 33 degrees of North America, they had their stuff all set up down through it. But was it to colonize, or was it already set up and then they took over all the operations? Because right after Albert Pike passed, they already had up the 33rd degree already set up in North America. And then after Albert Pike passed, then all of a sudden this MacLean is now the Scottish chieftain for the head of the Moorish army, taking what, 30,000 notes a year. It's crazy. But that's the first. Well, I can't say that's the first because I seen the casket that showed the cross on it though. So it really wasn't the first time, but I was just thinking about that though. This is backwards. Keep in mind this, I found the original and it said that it's a negative. So this is backwards. That's the head of the Moorish army, a Christian. They was doing a coup d'etat. Islam Wars, like I said, I'll be on here for 20 something minutes to fill out my hour. We did some Omar Ibn Said studies on Instagram. If you want to go see that, that's 40 minutes long, breaking down a lot of that. But I just came across that, man. I couldn't believe that a Christian's going to be leading the Moorish army. They ain't going to get nothing done then. Then what they call the King of Hawaii, he went to the Americas and then died while he was in the Americas, like a month and a half after Albert Pike passed, and they was connected. And he went to England and they said they treated him bad. And Albert Pike didn't get along with the Grand Orient in regards to the Yorkish Rite. Man, I have to find that clip that I had that speaks of the Masonic ritual of going to St. John's Church with King Edward VII. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that again. But we got the proofs. The Scottish chieftain was the head of the Moorish army, connected with King Edward VII, who was connected with the Masonry. Be wise, Moors. Indeed, divine honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We went over some of these on Instagram, like that one, Moorish Chief, where he took, see, go ahead and go over that. We went over this before. Took 10 million note loan from Paris, from France. But that MacLeod, the Scottish chieftain, he got kidnapped too, and the Moors was demanding ransom. Rasul is a Moorish chief. We went over that one already. Y'all got some catching up to do. 784. $90 like pavilion. comes on here, honors to you, brothers and mothers. The overland to the Moorish capital. The New York will remain his orders until some sort of settlement is reached. The overland to the Moorish capital. We on 785 on Library of Congress, man. Y'all gonna have to catch up. Or seven. Peace, brother Hakeem El. Peace, Grand Sheep. Peace, brother Bay, Atslin Bay. Peace to you, brother. People say they don't get notifications or whatever, man. It don't matter, brother. They'll catch it sometime or another, hopefully. All day, every day. Man, he looked familiar, bro. Something, dude. Perhaps the last Moorish chief of the type of his ancestors, whose civilization inspires wonder and admiration today. Muley Abd El Hafid. This finally making up his mind to eat humble pie and formally and definitely recognize French rule in his country, he craved and obtained permission to come and settle in France. I don't care. The brother looks like somebody I know all the time. So I just see it as a bloodline, brother. Just like you see a relative, you be like, you related to someone? Yeah. Well, we on our 15 minutes, brothers, sisters. I do an hour a day. I'll be on Instagram tomorrow for an hour. The last crazy whim of the Sultan was gratified at Tangier, seeing for the first time a dentist articulated chair. He immediately ordered one to be made for him in gold and in purest Louis Philippe style. He used it as a throne in his palace and took a childish delight in working it in every direction during his audience. Already, what comes to my mind, the wire connects, is I got a toothache. You upset? Yeah, the prophet had a toothache for sure. Islam, brothers and sisters, divine honors the prophet Noble Drali and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world. That'll be up on IG in a minute.